Hi, this is Michael Blank with michaelblank.com. In this video we're going to use the 50% rule to very quickly determine the most we can pay for a property.
So let's take a look at this 44 unit. It comes in, get this very nice marketing package. All right, now your job is to turn this thing around as quickly as possible without spending too much time on it. So we'll look at the pretty pictures, but really what we're looking for is we're looking for the income. And the reason is because we're going to use the 50% rule for the expenses. So we'll look at the rent roll, which is here. All right, and which is then nicely summarized down below. And this package also actually has the current as is income with some other income as well as the a vacancy factor here. All right, so we'll work with this one first. So we're going to open up our Syndicated Deal Analyzer. All right, and we are going to enter in the income, 490,000, and this thing is listing, let's take a look at this, is listing 27% vacancy. So this is a kind of a distressed asset here. All right, so we're going to use that number. Normally what we'll do is we'll use a 10% vacancy factor if we don't know any better. All right, but this is extraordinary for any property. This is a bankruptcy, and there's some issues with this property. But anyway, the point is we have the income here. And based on the rent roll, this 490,000 is actually 12 times the number in here. So this looks pretty good, and you can see the vacancies in there, and it all adds up. A lot of times you kind of question the income and the expenses. The income here is probably most reliable. So we're going to replicate that in the deal analyzer here. We're going to have 27.5 vacancy, other income. Okay, now for the expenses, let's look at the expense side. Scroll down, you actually have the expenses. You can see here they have 55.4% in expenses. That's pretty high. The norm is between 45 and 50. The 50% rule says in the absence of anything to the contrary, use 50%. It's a conservative number, and so what we're going to do in this deal is we're going to use that 50% number here. And so with that, you can now very quickly get the net operating income and try to determine what the value of this property is. So based on these numbers, the income that we have and the vacancy and the 50% factor, and let's say our buying criteria is a 10 cap. You see here the 10 cap, the cap rate now is just under 7%. So we got to tweak this purchase price down to where it meets our criteria. So we're going to keep going down from the asking price. 2.2, let's go down to an even 2, maybe a little more, 1.9, maybe just a little more, maybe 1.85. Okay, so, well, let's make it an even. So you see here at 1.8, we achieve our desired 10 cap. All right, so if we're shopping for a building, a 10 cap building, or we want it, that's our buying criteria. Now we can quickly take the income, the as-is income from the rent roll, etc., apply our 50% rule, apply the cap rate or another metric that we have, and then quickly come up with the buy price. And we get back to the agent saying, look, here's the analysis I did. You're asking this at a 10 cap in this area. This is my purchase price, and obviously you don't want to go in there with a 1.8. You might say, look, I can't spend any more than 1.7. So that's an overview of the 50% rule using the Syndicated Deal Analyzer, and that is how you turn a property around very quickly.